Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft, or should I say, the last episode of Hermitcraft Season 10. That's right, if you haven't heard the news, the season is coming to an end. I haven't put out an episode in a while, so if you don't know, I'm going to assume maybe you haven't been watching the other Hermits, which is a little bit of a shame because there's been so much amazing stuff going on in this final month of Hermitcraft Season 10. And when this episode reaches you, it might all be done and dusted, or there might be a day or two left. I'm not sure when exactly I'm going to get this episode out. But either way, my season is over, and as you know, it kind of dwindled down for me earlier this season, quite a few months ago. So I would love to know your thoughts on how my season went. Please do, leave a comment down below. The positives, the negatives, I would love to hear it all, because I'm going into Season 11 with recharged batteries. After having continuously played on Hermitcraft for over 10 years, this time when the energy started to subside, I decided to give myself a break, focus on some different things in life, like music, and that really did a lot for me. And now that Season 11 is creeping up on us, I've actually got like a ton of ideas. I'm really inspired and looking forward to the next season of Hermitcraft. So it will be really useful to know your thoughts moving into that next season. But I got to say something right now. I'm going to do away with tradition from this point out. I want to think differently about how I do my episodes. I also don't want to put pressure on myself to continuously pump them out like I have done in the past. So we won't be burning any of the many diamonds that I have accumulated this season. That is a tradition of ours at the end of the series. Nope, I'm going to leave them right there. And also there's been pranks and shenanigans going on, and someone pinched all of my diamonds up here. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this like it is. We know how many diamonds we earned. It was a heck of a lot, but we're gonna do away with tradition, and I want my next season of Hermitcraft to feel different, but to be really exciting as well. Okay, now we're not gonna spend much more time talking about next season at all. There's things I have been doing on the server that I want to show you, and then we're gonna have a little bit of a season retrospective where we discuss all the things that we did do this season, like Loglands, which was an absolute mega project. And now we're just going to fly gracefully in this direction. Okay, signs of life. We are approaching Joe Hills' area, which was a season-long mega project of its own. Joe had carved out these massive plots for us hermits to come and take over and build something to our desire. And earlier in the season, when we were working on the Wolf of Wall Street stuff, I did a little bit of a pixel art mural that kind of showed me that doing pixel art in Minecraft was actually kind of therapeutic and fun. So off in this direction, we set out to create a pixel art plot dedicated to the history of video gaming. Here it is right here. I've actually finished this. So as I said, it's been very therapeutic. The act of finding the images from classic computer games and then translating them block by block into our world was just a really simple process. A nice way to kind of zone out and just place some blocks and keep things simple. And so we built this homage to the history of video gaming here. So if you're looking for a super chill activity to do in Minecraft, I would recommend doing some pixel art. It's very relaxing, as I've said probably one too many times. But I'm leaving you with this image right here so that you can pause the video and see how many of these you can actually guess. How much do you know about the history of video gaming? Take a little bit of time, see how many you recognize, and let me know how you do with a comment. So as well as placing blocks, I've also been playing games on the server like Basketball, and there's also Metro Mayhem, which has been a big hit. This is Impulse's game inspired by the parkour maps on MCC, where you run and jump around lots of obstacles, aiming for a good time. And I had a good time playing this. Yeah, no, the times go in the book over here. Unofficial runs? Oh, there we go. Okay, so the results are in here. Yeah, this was my time in the first season. And here in the second season, nowhere near as good a score, but that's because I spent my time focusing on something a little different. You see, Impulse introduced golden eggs to the run, so you could run it for time, or you could explore the whole Metro Mayhem area looking for these golden eggs. And I thought, I'm going to go try hard on this one. I'm going to be the first person to discover all of them. So have your eyes peeled for droppers and stuff, people. That says no entry, but I'm going to go anyway. This will be a good look. Oh! 2! Ooh! Now, if they're like numerical in order, we might have missed one already. Watch the ceilings. Oh, for a button, perhaps. Yeah. I mean, that's what it's going to be, right? Like a button or a pressure plate, and then maybe like a string. Hello. 8. If these are in order, I can't believe we've missed that many. Crazy. This is my new game. This is my new jam. I want to look for stuff. What if there's like some... Oh, yes! What a guess! What a guess! And literally, as I say it, like we find it, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. I mean, I could have said it, and then, like, you know, we try this one, we try that one. There it is. There's one behind. It literally went straight in. What are the odds? Oh, dude. There's going to be one up here, isn't there? That's a button. Yes! Oh! Oh my god, wow! Well spotted. That's 10. I think over there is where we want to go. Ah, so actually, being on here might have been kind of crucial for that. Yes, see, that's the one that I saw earlier. I feel kind of bad about that. But I like that I've done all these other ones. Okay, so we missed one. There's probably one in each of these rooms, is what I'm going to guess. Come on, this is a great place for an Easter egg. I could get on top of that bit as well? Okay, I don't think it's up here. Plus, it's all green, so the redstone would change. Okay, so therefore, what if it's down there in the water? There are TNT dispensers. Where do I jump from here? Whew. Gosh, that was risky. Oh, dude. Dude! Yes! Oh my god, we are absolutely killing this. That was so cool. Yeah, each room's going to have one, right? Oh, no! Don't I have to get out with them alive as well? Oh my god. I guess we can at least keep our eyes peeled. I feel like there might actually be something around here now that we know it can be a little different. Like, there's redstone elements in here. Why is that one different, you know? Okay. We can look, but we might not find. Oh, that's so one. Yeah! Yeah! We got number 4! Oh, it's on my head! It's like a little hat. X speedrunning how to stress his viewers out the most. Seems like it, doesn't it? Seems like I'm giving you all a hard time. Oh, there's a problem. The TNT blast is probably going to destroy some of that. Wasn't there like another way around? Oh. Probably got both of those just in time, right? If they were in range, I got them just in time. So, God, these ones now. Oh, you know I got to. You know I got to. Oh, there'd be such a good spot to put one on that little wheel around the side. You'd feel like such a brain smartest if you got it as well. You'd be like, yeah, I knew it was there. Oh! Oh no, I thought it was a pressure plate. I thought I had it. Button? Yay! Woo! Number 18. Oh, someone came and pressed, was it Scar? Someone, or Cub? Someone pressed the button when we were in here. They were like, hey, I've got to find out. Oh, that's easy, that one. Okay, that's 19. Dude, that's a sign. It's right there somewhere. No, it's not. It's not. Dude, these are pressure plates. That'd be a great place to put it. Oh, the one at the back. Surely no. Surely no. Let's see. Chests are back that way. Y'all just want me to die, don't you? I see how this goes. You just want me to die in here. Oh, it's another pressure plate. Well, there was a pressure plate that I missed. Oh, it's a trap chest. I wouldn't have got that. Thank you, chat. Thank you. Oh, look at that, you cheeky devil, Impulse. You cheeky, cheeky devil. That's wonderful. That's wonderful right there. That's so clever. Like, you really had to be, like, you can barely see it, but then you see this. You have to be in, like, analyze mode. There could be a hopper minecart down there, right? Dude, we are not sacrificing food like this. Rest in peace, pizza. Yes, it's gone. Oh, look, wait, we never checked this side, did we? Oh my god, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, we got it. We checked the other side. We got so caught up around that gap over there that when I came and checked this side, I didn't then come and check it from the other angle. That's hilarious. You can get so misled so easy. Impulse's style has been putting the pressure plates directly on top of the dispensers too. So hopefully, like, the pressure plate stands out around with stone around it. Like, what's over here? Oh, yo! I know how to play this game, son. I know how to play this game. That's 5. That's number 5 right there. Sweet. Absolutely sweet. Wait, what's that over there? No way! Oh my god. Yes, there was one in this area. That's just brilliant. That's just brilliant. Okay. That feels like a mad tempting jump. Right? That one there. I'm literally aiming. What a big jump! Where's my reward, man? Oh, there's nothing here. There's no. Oh, I deserve. I'm adding my own Easter egg. I'm gonna come back and put a secret Easter egg in here. That's a great idea. Stuff with graphs, and I was really understanding it. Oh, this feels special. Hey, there it is. Woo! Not a lot of urgency to get back on my behalf. Whoa! What was that zap sound? Did you hear that? I don't recall there being a zap sound like that in the game. Did y'all hear that? Zzz, zzz, like, legit heard a zap. Weird. Hey, I found it. I think I found it. And maybe I can get out of here alive. That was a little underwhelming reaction from me. I'm a little distracted by the zapping sound that I heard. But hey, we got it. We got it. Impulse has zap sounds in his tunnels. Ah, thank goodness, yeah. Y'all weren't paying attention. That's what that was. That's what that was. But again, following convention, that's not how Impulse has been doing it. So I don't think he would just all of a sudden decide to hide one there. Oh! Oh! Okay! I noticed that was a little deeper. Well, there it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we didn't investigate this spot very much. Like, what? Impulse, you are a crafty devil, my friend. Hey! 15! Get in! Oh my goodness me. Let's go! One more! One more! One more! Oh my days. I mean, talk about exploring everything. I've gone inside the Happy Ghast.
Oh my.
Who's called Dipplepoop. Right, this one's... I think it might be the ghast that, like, pushes me off a little bit and messes me up. Whew! Oh, yeah! Woo! Oh my god, there were 2 in this room! Yo, homies, we did it! We did it! Woo! The very last place that we look. Because we wouldn't keep on looking, right? Yeah, your misplaced car keys, they're always in the last place you look. What's up with that, eh? That was the game, hunting 20 Easter eggs. I absolutely loved it. That was a lot of fun. I think I might make my own hide-and-seek game in the next season of Hermitcraft. I don't know. Anyway, when searching for this, I actually found a place that was really difficult to get to. So I went and put in an emerald egg, and I think Cub Fan might be the only person to get it. Oh yeah, Cub's just over here. And look at that, he's got an emerald egg. So the world download is coming your way. Remember to come over here to Metro Mayhem, play the game, play the Easter egg thing, and see if you can find the emerald Easter egg too. I keep calling them Easter eggs, they're just eggs. That's just how my brain works, unfortunately. Oh, by the way, shout out to my editor, Sky, for doing an amazing job with the compilation from my live streams there of me hunting all of the eggs. And yes, the timing of me picking up those eggs that despawned is 100% true. They were literally seconds away from disappearing. Okay, it's now time for the retrospective. I've got the playlist of the season up to kind of like jog my memory and remind me of all the cool things we did this season. Things actually started up pretty spicy with the Game of Demise, creating a lot of interactions and funny moments. But this over here, my very first build, I think you can see that I'm clearly pushing myself, but there is something missing from my builds, and I've found that, and I know what it is going into the next season of Hermitcraft. Builds need more backstory, they need more rhyme and reason about them, and I'm playing a game of imitation inspired by the hermits around me. I see things they're doing with their builds, and I pick up on these techniques. I apply them to my own approach towards building, but the thing that I'm missing is a story behind each of the reasons why a build is the way it is. So clearly I can put my noggin together, come up with some nice build palettes that fit cohesively together, but when you see this, it's not entirely clear why everything is the way it is. There can, of course, be some charm to that sort of building, but I feel like going into the next season, whatever it is I build, it needs more rhyme and reason behind it to make sense out of why things are the way they are. Looking at the next few episodes, I'm reminded of a really cool contraption we created this season thanks to our farming of honey blocks. I am talking about the Honeyvator here, which I've seen a few other Minecraft creators using, and I've also been featured in a couple of like redstone showcase videos, which was really pleasing to me. I had a history a long time ago of making contraptions all the time and being a part of that side of the community, and so it's really nice to just do something again like that that felt like I put my toes back into that space, as I've seen lots of players picking up on this cool contraption and using it themselves too. Oh, and this contraption here, it's got a bit of a wheat problem, hasn't it? Yeah. There's loads of wheat lying around. All right, what's next? Permits. Permits. So, what do we think about them? I know that most of the audience went along with the idea. A few people didn't like it, made their voices heard, but ultimately, I think it was a great thing to do to change up a tried and true formula, do something a little different. It created a lot of fun interaction, storylines, and shaped up our shopping district in a completely different way for once. So now when we fly around here and look at all these fantastic builds and shops, know that they were shaped by that idea, the permits themselves. And I think it's a good lesson for us to take some risks from time to time and try and do things a little different. All right, we have some of the shulker box tech that I experimented with this season, as well as our big mob farm. So our utterly fantastic storage system, earlier on in the season, it relied on some tech that would put textures onto these boxes. And when that tech broke with updates and stuff, and we could no longer use this, it really kind of put a weakness onto this system. And I feel like moving forward, it's probably not such a good idea to rely on such systems and to make things more vanilla oriented, which is why I've already shared my season 11 storage system, because we spent the time redesigning this thing to address that problem so you can have a storage system that works without any little tweaks and modifications and mods and stuff. As for the mob farm back here, this is going to talk a little bit about my ideas for next season, because we built another mob farm and that's not actually it. It's over here. Once again, always trying to put a spin on things that I've done in the past, but ultimately you just create something that's like hidden away in darkness and doesn't make much of a spectacle. So although there's some interesting redstone and concepts at work here to bring all of the items to the player, It's just something that you don't really interact with or see. You just walk up to a bunch of chests and take out the items. And that's an idea that I want to take with me into Season 11. How do we change that? How do we make farms more interactable and more interesting? All right, we got the diamond trophies, which was actually a real success, I feel like. And also loglands. We're definitely going to fly over there and talk about that. So what is it about this build that feels more gratifying than my base? It's that it explains itself. It's obviously a shop for sales. The diamonds then make sense, and the color scheme and the shop windows, but that's a lot easier to achieve with a shop, right? So when base building, I kind of want to take some lessons from this thing. Put in more stuff that identifies what it is. I said we weren't going to talk about Season 11, but I'm just like learning so many lessons from what I've done this season to take forward with me. When we come inside as well, there's so much more purpose to the building arrangement here. Now, tons of hermits interacted with this. We obviously made a load of diamonds, but, you know, that's just a bit of fun. The real thing is that people participated and got loads of diamonds. We've got a leaderboard over here with the different trophies on it. And the biggest one we earned was this one right here. So the mistake with this one was just not scaling the diamonds correctly, which was honestly a bit of guesswork, and maybe I could have lowered the bar. But all in all, this project turned out pretty great, if you ask me. Okay, then there's Loglands over here, and obviously this started out as a bit of a co-op project between me and Ren, and then I ended up doing pretty much all of it on my own, which I'm absolutely fine with. I've learned a valuable lesson this season about communicating your vision to other people, and I don't think I did that very well with Ren. I knew exactly what was going on here with building all the farms and decorating the interior, but Ren was kind of in the dark, you know. I had all these big plans, and we're going to build this mega structure, and it can be quite difficult to communicate that with other hermits. That is a lesson that we also learned with this project over here. Okay, you start to see the farms here, right? The self-sustaining bone meal silo, a rooted dirt farm, and one of my favorite moments from this season in the Nether with Grian and Mumbo. Absolute chaos, this one right here. If you watched it, you probably don't need me to recap it because it was such a hilarious memory. Anyway, let's drop down here into Loglands, which for the longest time was just full of farms all over the place, and now has a totally different look as the final vision came together with hiding all of those farms and giving them aesthetic fronts. Again, the whole rhyme and reason thing with builds and aesthetics gets a bit muddled up in here because, well, it's just a patchwork of ideas, really. There's times where it really works and comes together well, and other times where you're not quite sure what you're looking at. It looks cool, but, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, that bone meal farm is now hidden somewhere behind here. A self-sustaining bone meal farm, which we then fed to all of the other farms inside of this tapestry of madness. And over on this side, we came up with the creation that allows you to farm rooted dirt, like automatically without the player's involvement. Look, I'm standing on a bunch of it right here. And this wouldn't have been possible without Cybot's farm back here, and Cybot's help in general. He's like my redstone buddy who helps me with some of the things I can't quite figure out. And yeah, without him, we wouldn't have been able to build such a cool farm like this. All right, this is the part of the season where the Wall Street shenanigans started to really pick up. There were a lot of jokes and a lot of fun here with the woo horns and whatnot. And honestly, it was pretty hard to wrangle up a lot of people due to how the permits worked, and I feel like this idea could have gone a little further, but we certainly nailed some of the vibes and some of the jokes. Like, look at this here. This is classic Wall Street, except we've turned it into Wall Street. You get it? How many times do I need to say wall? But the whole thing turned out great. There was a lot of collaboration with Joe, which led to this incredible build here, and also a moment where I really tried to push myself again with details and stuff in this area. This is a fantastic little set of murals that all try to tell little stories about each of the different permit holders for this project. And I'm reminded of how much I do try and push myself each season of Hermitcraft with new ideas and concepts and whatnot. I believe this episode here marked my first ever appearance in MCC, which was really cool to be a part of. And then down here, we also have the staircase to heaven. I can't remember what kicked it off, but I just started growing azalea trees on top of each other and decided to take it all the way to the top of the build limit. It was stupid, it was completely pointless, it had no rhyme or reason to it, but sometimes that can be a lot of fun as we gathered the interest of some of the other hermits. Yeah, a nice little reminder to do silly things in this game on occasion too. Alright, there it is. Something I absolutely have to talk about. Auto crafting. We really went all out this season with this idea. So this takes us back into Loglands to highlight another really important part of this whole project. For all the different types of wood that we were automatically producing, we would automatically craft them into their different components as well, allowing players to just come up and take their fence gates and their fence posts and trapdoors, and then just walk away as the system crafts more for them. We applied this to many different wood types, including the acacia, and over here is the netherwoods. But this is a lot of like very repetitive redstone, and it's a lot of work to replace crafting, which you can kind of do just by dragging stuff around in your inventory. So after doing this for several different wood types, I kind of lost the motivation to keep making the farms and make more of the same crafting systems. Alright, it's all about copper. You can see the arc here over the next few episodes. So to jog your memory, we rebuilt a classic farm in the End Dimension, which sadly broke in this season of Hermitcraft, and I feel like Mojang maybe need to do something about creating a copper farm, just because since then it's actually now quite tedious to get the stuff again. That farm was definitely overpowered, but it feels like there needs to be a bit of a middle ground established somewhere. Anyway, the creation of this copper farm led to some amazing redstone contraptions, and I really wanted to push my building once again. So for the shop, I went for an exterior design. This is the end result. But on the interior was where things got kind of crazy, because I really wanted to bring statues of the copper golems, which weren't actually a part of the game at that point in time. As I'm recording right now, technically they're not, but they're obviously in the copper age drop, and so they're kind of like immortalized here with these statues. And this big room is just an entrance to the place where you can buy your copper. And again, pushing myself right here to come up with a really cool build theme. And I think we absolutely did it. As always, though, just lacks a little bit of rhyme and reason. And so you're going to end up with a crossroads. Why is it a crossroads? I'm not sure. But hey, it all looks pretty cool. And you can come in here and you can buy plenty of copper, which apparently, I haven't been over here in a minute. Wow, the hermits have been buying out all of this stuff. My goodness me. All right, we now interrupt this episode to round up all of the diamonds. And of course, I did this off camera. So I have a tally of 1,197 diamonds to go in here. With this book, we kept track of everything all season long, and that brings me over 5,000 sales for the season. I deserve the next level of trophy. I will do that if I get time. I'm slowly accumulating a little list of things to do in the background for the world download. So we better get on with it. So we were talking about the copper arc, which takes me here to the Nether to traverse over to where we built our copper aging facility, which is a remarkable structure. And there's other cool farms we've built as well, like this one. But one of the issues about this is that it spreads you out across the world. I kind of wish that we could build more farms in a single location and integrate them into our base. This right here is a crazy iteration of the witch farm that I've been building for season after season. Every season, though, we find a little way to tweak it, change it, and then add systems like this, which is an auto crafter, by the way. And we're going to need a redstone farm next season, so it's likely that I may end up just building the same thing again. But it was here that we built Goliath, later to be shortened to Goliath, our fully automated copper aging facility. This is an absolutely amazing project. I didn't think something like this was possible, but we found a way to do it. And in the process of designing this stuff, we came up with some other designs as well. So if I ever need a facility like this in the future, I've got some alternative designs up my sleeve as well. Yeah, not only does it do all of the aging, there's also auto crafting down here for the different ages of copper oxidization. All in all, I think this is like one of the most remarkable projects we did this season, but it just sits out here in the middle of nowhere looking pretty wacky, you know. If this was like in my base, I'd have a really good reason to dress it up and make it look a little more interesting. So back to the playlist over at Loglands where I showed you the rooted dirt farm. We also had a way to make clay and we could then automate smelting that into terracotta. Another block, another thing that you can automate in this game thanks to recent updates. But let's talk about this next, my best build ever, and then we'll talk about the trial chambers. I built so many different things over the years, I don't know what I would actually consider to be my best build. But what was great about this one here was the process that came together to create it. Simply a combination of shapes and gradients that you could throw together without too much pre-planning and end up with a really quality looking build like this. This is something I might actually bring back for next season. I think I did a little bit of this style when we went over to Exile as well. This is just a very easy way to create a great looking structure. And inside of here is our trial chamber loot, which we'll talk about next. In the next season of Hermitcraft, it's very likely that at some point I'm going to want to make another mace. But it was absolutely tedious to get one. We even built like an automating farming system to help us with this. You simply wander around this area. Contraptions are built around each of the trial chambers to help you automatically farm stuff, which you can take out of those hoppers. And then you have to wait after you've done the farming for them all to reset and go around again. It just took such a long time to put this all together. And it feels like one of those projects that was fun to do once, but you don't want to do this every season. The game is becoming rather bloated with features. And I think this might speak to the Forever World trend a little bit as well. As starting new worlds over and over again, there's just a ridiculous amount of farms to deal with now. This next part of the season was pretty jam-packed, right? We did the prank on Impulse with tons and tons of silverfish. We then reused that to do some live pranking with other hermits where we lured them in to this trap room. And I think my favorite moment here was Scar just going all the way through it and leaving us in a moment of confusion as we didn't know what was going on. We also kicked off the Mace Race mini game. And we started the project at the spawn chunks where we were going to map out the world. So one of the final things I'll be doing in this Hermitcraft world is updating all of the maps at the spawn chunks here. This season, we really wanted to think about the world download in advance and give all of y'all a really great experience. So you will spawn in this space and then you'll be able to navigate and traverse the world and find all of the different hermit spaces nice and easy thanks to this big map system. And it actually looks like, I think Scar's been coming over here and updating his maps for this area. And actually, False's area is up to date. The minigames look up to date as well. I think someone else has been keeping this up to date over the season. All right, since we're heading over to Mace Race, we'll talk about that when we get there. But on the way, we're going to check out the potion factory that I built. I feel like this is one of my best potion projects that I've done in this game. And then, of course, we've got to touch on the fan art gallery as well. So I'd say if this season had like an underrated project, it would be the Potion Brewer. I am so very, very happy that another hermit has found this and put it to good use. Tango has been using this to brew potions for his mini games. And it is the complete package. You keep it stocked up, it'll pump out box after box after box of potions. And there is just some wonderful redstone behind it too. It's always really fun to get stuck into these challenges, but with this one, we really went like all the way. You can brew all the different types of potions and it'll do it a shulker box at a time. But better yet, I then used this project as a template to try and do some more building. This time, mostly taking inspiration from Pearlescent Moon, picking up on how she uses colors and works with shapes. This is somewhat of a poor imitation, but it is a way to learn. And I decided that the whole build wasn't going to be the same thing all the way around. And it was when we came around to this backside here that I think a little bit of originality came together. And there is a block palette that I would like to resurrect at some point in the future and do a little bit more with. Now, this is a retrospective. We're looking at everything. We're thinking about how we can take these ideas into the future. I think Mace Race was an absolute success. We did a fair amount with it, but there was one sort of fatal flaw, and I think that was to make it a versus game. I think the more successful minigames on a server like Hermitcraft are ones that you can just play at your own pace, yet still compete with other players. So if we had built in a timing system to time a player's run, I think that would have really encouraged the hermits to play more, fighting for the best time, and then they can come over here and play whenever's good for them. You don't have to hook up with another player to play at the same time. Currently, I don't really have any minigame ideas for the next season, but if I do have one, that's a lesson that we got to take forward. So earlier in the episode when we were at Loglands, I talked about communication, and I hinted at the art gallery struggling from this problem as well. This had to have been one of my most time-intensive projects that I've ever done for Hermitcraft. It was totally worth it. But the big mistake I made was just telling the other hermits that we're going to have an art gallery and there's going to be fan art paintings in it. That doesn't really sell a picture of what this thing is. And so a big lesson that we've learned from this, talking about it as a group, is we need to do better communicating our ideas to each other. I should have come forth with some sketches and a presentation to give them an idea of what the end product would look like. I could see it in my head, but I didn't really convey it to the other hermits. And now that it's here, you can wander around this place and really see like what the vision was from the beginning, right? In fact, this actually is just 100 times better than any vision I had, because I couldn't actually visualize the different pieces of fan art that people would come up with, right? Like all of these have been absolutely mind-blowing. So it's kind of even better than I originally thought. But yeah, this is why I need to get into the habit now of like doing slideshow presentations of ideas for other hermits, because just explaining an idea doesn't always put a vision in someone else's head the same way that you have it in your own. All right, we had the invisible ink project, putting shulker boxes in the sky so we could leave a message for Loglands on the maps that we saw a moment ago, and you'll see some repeating themes here in this part of the season. That is simply because of some projects that spanned a long period of time that we were slowly getting through. Loglands and the art gallery, for example, and then over here creating this little mural for Loglands. I am ever so fond of this. I think it turned out so good. And one of the tricks here was just to put some glass in front of the fade that we had created with the colors behind it. And I love how that turned out. So we updated to the Garden Awakens drop. We built our creaking farm. We auto-crafted some of the resin. But I want to bring your attention to this, the dodgeball minigame from Season 7. I brought it back and then we didn't actually play it. That has reminded me that I also brought back the minigame cluster chunk. Built it in survival and we never got around to playing it. I tried to organize it. People were busy and then I just kind of forgot about it. But it was around this time that I had a delightful interaction with Skiz, who's trying to level up his redstone game, and he actually taught me something about making a mangrove wood farm. So I simply took his design that he had built here on Hermitcraft and then tried to take it to the next level over here, and I learned a lot about farming the mangrove wood and came up with a really cool farm. But as you know, I didn't do any auto crafting after that because I had become kind of tired of building that setup. But you know, we could have done it. We could have auto crafted the mangrove wood. All right, the next phase of the season was Exile, which I can't go and visit again, of course, without using cheaty commands or maybe spending an eternity on the nether roof traveling there. This moment is when the season really started to slow down for me. I started to lose inspiration for fresh ideas, and yeah, I completed a lot of mega projects this season, and it just felt like I needed to give myself a break. So I slowed things down and started to explore other stuff. So the next few episodes were kind of sparse apart from one another. We had shenanigans with the Happy Ghast update, which was absolutely delightful, and we finally finished the fan art gallery. And that means that this is going to be the 78th and final episode of this season of Hermitcraft, and that was our retrospective for now. What I would like to share with you next is a delightful moment from me and Joe Hills playing Tango Tech's The Tangler minigame. This is actually a series of puzzles, but the entire thing is built underground, so I don't have a big fancy entrance to show you. But with the free cam, I wanted to drop down here and introduce you to one of the games that we played. Aha, it is this room right here. The run that I'm going to show you has me and Joe pretty locked into playing, so we're not exactly explaining what's going on. When the game starts, these copper slabs going across either direction of the room will alternate which ones are above or below lava, and then at random, these little platforms right here can go up and down too. So there's a player starting on either side. You have to run around and jump on these platforms and collect wool that actually drops out of the ceiling here. Those wool blocks then need to be placed into the barrels over here to keep these meters from reaching 0. If any of these lamps go all the way down to 0, the game is over. It only lasts a few minutes, but it's very difficult. Me and Joe spent like an hour playing this, and then we finally had a successful run, which was very gratifying. Let's go again. Yeah, I feel like I've actually like kind of like found my groove now. Oh. Oh, don't come this way. I'm gonna go back that way, I think.
Okay, I put 2 red in the middle. Dang it.
Gotta get to yellow and blue. I'm coming past you. Woo!
Okay.
Yellow and brown.
Yeah, I've got yellow and brown, and I can't get over there.
Right, going to brown. Now I'm doing yellow. Okay, now we've got to do black and purple. Come on, that's it. That's it. We did it.
We must have won. We must have won.
Yes!
Yay!
Woo! Oh my goodness me! Oh my goodness me! Oh my goodness me!
I knew we could do it, Xisuma. I believe in us.
Yes! Woo! Oh my goodness me! Right, how many times have I said that now? That was crazy.
Welcome.
Oh, what a payoff! Ooh. That was such a great moment. Me and Joe had such a fantastic time playing all of Tango's mini games. We were a little bit on the useless side though. It took us almost 4 hours to get through the whole thing. And of course, you can have a go at it with your friends when the world download comes out real soon. Now, I wasn't exactly sure when this episode was going to go out, but I've kind of decided I'm going to put it out tomorrow, as of when I'm recording this, which is Monday. And that means that there are 2 more Hermitcraft live streams coming your way. So if you follow me on Twitch in the evening after this episode comes out, we're going to be doing the Update the Maps live stream where we go around the world updating all the maps for the world download. And then there'll be another live stream that's even later on in the evening. I'm going to stay up late and we're just going to hang out on the server with the other hermits until it shuts off for the very last time. So you've got a live stream this evening after the episode comes out, and you've got another one the following day. If ever you can't catch my streams live, they are always posted to my second channel, so you can catch them later on. And also over on that channel, I uploaded a guitar cover recently called Thanks for Nothing. You should go check it out. It was a really fun song to play. But yeah, it's usually at this part of the final episode that I would go and throw all of these diamonds into lava. But as I said, we're doing away with tradition. Next season on Hermitcraft, I think I'm going to do away with the ridiculously large episode numbers too. I want to take all of these lessons that we've learned looking back at this world and like shift how I play as a player. I want to evolve. I want to do new stuff with my content. And next season is where that's going to happen. So if you're still watching, thank you so much for your support. Remember to comment down below what you think about this season. The good, the bad, the ugly. You can tell me all of it. I thank you for watching. And I look forward to seeing you again in season 11 of Hermitcraft. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.